PartyParrots down into the muck and the mud a little bit by putting them into unfamiliar territory. But so far, PartyParrots are looking good and played really well against Prodigy on this very same map.
Just by the way, interesting thing to note here, as we do maybe see a bit more aggression coming on through. Actually, I'll hold that thought because Hyper's just going to swing on over towards main. He'll get traded here, but the 2-1 trade ends up favoring PartyParrots just slightly. Or sorry, actually Royals before they lose Russ. Now we're going to start moving our way into the A side itself. Spike is still lagging behind just a little bit here, Ryan.
It's going to make its way into the sight line of the Cypher. It's going to be the debutant, Kaspar. And Capers is like holding his entry. He's going to run into Angel that smoked him off. So right now, not much is happening. Casper's position being given up. The breach is going to force him out. SSK gets the frag, but Capers gets Angel towards Cubby.
2 versus 2 now. The door is closed, and well, the round is closing up potentially soon as well. Plant over towards the double boxes over there, so not the generator plant. Will be a little bit more easier to play this close potentially, especially if SSK is going to pick up that first kill, and well, Artis will find the second shot onto DPS, and that is going to be the round now for PartyParrots. And what I was actually going to say before the action broke out, Ryan, is interestingly for that round, it was 5 Phantoms for Royals, and Shao and Angel, who have the only 2 Vandals on their team, did not have armor, so, or rather did not have heavy armor, so there was a bit of an interaction there where if the right range was there, if they did have heavy armor, they could have taken the 140 dink and maybe survived, but it ends up going the way of the PartyParrots in any case, and they'll be able to hold on to a couple of guns, and now 3 on the board.
So far, so good. Taking a dominant start, and it's forcing Royals to eco yet again. The ultimate's starting to unlock on both sides. And A is going to be hit pretty hard, to the point that they're leaving the spike behind, so they're putting their bodies on the line to take space and get frags, and that's exactly what Dix is able to do, get a quick double towards B. That's opened up the side. Let's see if the rotation comes in from either side. But right now, everything stayed a bit static.
Russ, he could have done so much there. Unfortunately, he gets picked up by Artis, who finds a second one to Casper. And now this is all looking all over. Hyper's the last one alive, no layer available. There's no way he can just swing without this flash. He'll be instantly taken down, but he's got to do something. He needs to find the right position to at least maybe make a trade here, find a kill, get a gun away. SSK is on low HP. He's not healed up just yet. It's someone that you'd really like to take down an Artis on this major flank kill. Surely find the timing, and he does. Could have even gone for the knife kill there if he wanted to. He's going to be able to walk through 4 rounds now for PartyParrots, looking comfortable, and they did not have to use the Rolling Thunder. Of course, you prefer not to use that if you are up against a team that's ecoing.
The mechanics of all of these players are pretty strong on the side of PartyParrots. You could definitely tell that Counter-Strike is in their veins, even though they're much younger than their IGL Angel. He's letting them roam free, and each of them is having great standout moments. Royals is now able to buy. Russ with 0 kills is picking up the operator with light armor. He's going to be holding it towards mid from Cubby, so he's going to try and engage onto Angel, but there's a lot of people heading towards A.
Oh, he'll find the first kill straight away, but Angel's down. He told you about the 4 guys heading towards A. Those are the main members of this attacking force so far. PartyParrots are in. Finally, SSK will be able to use this Rolling Thunder. In what effect, though, because it goes down Casper almost instantly. There will be a trade coming on through. Situation not looking very good for PartyParrots anymore. The resurrection is there if he wants to be able to use it, but this is now going to be such a difficult round for Artis to win. A little bit too difficult, I have to say, as Royals will finally put themselves onto the board off the back of a nice pick coming through from Russ. Allows the team to put all their attention towards A, where PartyParrots were actually trying to push.
It was only a double kill, but that paranoia that came across where Hyper's looking was so strong, and it allowed the members defending on A to peek at the same time, set up a bit of a crossfire, and get those kills too. So that was perfectly played by Royals. PartyParrots maybe get a bit too big for their boots, that they feel like they can just rush a site and not get punished. But now A is looking to be in heavy control for Royals. PartyParrots need to be careful of the operator, and they're doing so by smoking off quite aggressively now, and Angel's good to push it, put a bit more pressure onto Russ.
Well, the thing there was, for PartyParrots, they only had 1 smoke character, and that's in the hands of Angel, so if your Brimstone dies, that's your entry smoke's gone. Can't control short either. I'm going to try and get a little bit more short control. This time, Angel's still alive. They're droning through over into tree. Counter drone being used over towards the side of DPS on A, shaking the move over towards main. Capers receives a bit of damage. He might have to consider getting out of here.
one way was a good attempt, but I think SSK could see it better than KPIS could see SSK, so that went badly. And this allows this sort of pincer approach to PartyParrots that have now taken control of the doorway and pushing through. But Hyper's holding his own ground. The orbital strike is putting him between a rock and a hard place. B-side's going to be hit. The spike eventually coming in. DPS will say something a little bit about it.
Shot duck.
Too difficult there, unfortunately, for Hype to be able to deal with. He still has teammates available. A couple of rotators late coming in. Russ is the guy coming right the way from spawn. He might even find a kill over towards Shao on his way in, and he needs to find something here, because if he loses this duel, they lose control of market now. 2 players alive on both ends. No plant to come through just yet. Casper anchoring really solidly right now, not allowing anyone to come through for free. Shao, could he find the one this is where's the timing here? DPS hasn't swung just yet. Time is running out here as well. It's a 1v2 situation. Shao's thinking about this one, and it'll be count the usage of Hunter's Fury on both ends. Where's the tag? So Shao needs to tag him at least once, and he doesn't.
This is so narrow, but Shao just does the nice positioning, gets his third, leading in the KD in the whole tournament. You can start to see why. I've never seen that before. I've never seen two Sovas fire Hunter's Furies at each other and set up this triangle, trying to stop the spike getting planted, trying to stop the other Sova, trying to stop the spike from being planted. Comical, but it does mean the PartyParrots rebound from the lost round beforehand and put the score up to 5-1. Royals held on as long as they could. The PartyParrots taking control of mid there was one of the sole reasons why they were able to get onto that site in the first place.
You can see how important it was for Russ to be able to find and kill Michelle as well, who was the last one alive that ended up being able to win the round for his team of PartyParrots 5-1 the scoreline. And sometimes one kill just makes the difference here. Russ, very close angle. I think SSK might be able to see him. Surely there's a potential that Angel even heard him. There it is. They flash him. They'll push him. They don't know what side he's on. That's a bit of a problem. He'll even get a kill for SSK now. This is going awfully, unfortunately, for PartyParrots, who desperately need to punish him.
They're going to check that side. They know that he's going to be tricky with the Omen. The teleport is a good one, but his positioning is still terrible. Angel gets short-sighted, but he does get taken out by Shao. So mid-control yet in the hands of PartyParrots. They haven't realized it yet, and they haven't realized how open the B site is going to be. But they have time on their side. They can take this kind of passively. They just need to be careful of the Cypher and the neural 50s available, as that's going to be Caspor pushing mid rather aggressively, but Diggs gets a nice headshot onto him.
He was just trying to find some information. Are they still in mid was the question posed to Royals. For Russ as well, my memory isn't perfect, but I'm sure he would have had a smoke available to get him out of that situation. He dies, unfortunately, with only the 1 kill into SSK. It's not bad, it's decent, but they need more because Royals only have 1 alive, and if this was a more even-traded situation, DPS might have a chance to win. He probably looks at this and thinks, not going to happen, doesn't have a lot of money to his name. In fact, most Royals are looking pretty poor at this stage. If he can just walk away with this 1 rifle, he'll be happy with that.
Praying that this round ends sooner rather than later so he doesn't get punished for holding on to this gun. Not the most ideal stat for Royals on this defense, but I remember hearing a bit of a podcast of Fraud saying that Ascent is actually more attacking-sided than defended, which I thought was quite interesting. I guess, like we've seen with PartyParrots, the aggression that they could put on mid, you kind of have to not let the enemies take control of it if you are defending, but you are also bottlenecked a little bit more than you would be. You were sort of in the main mid position, in the main courtroom, I guess it would be.
I'll tell you what, I'll weigh in on that in a second, Ryan, but DPS just got saved by Casper's posthumous trap wire there, which was able to just catch Artis on his way in. If Artis just peeks in and he spots DPS there, I think they can just double peek him and confirm that kill. But yeah, look, the reason why I think Ascent might be slightly more attacker favored is simply because it's way easier for attackers to be able to get mid control than it is for defenders. At least that's my 2 cents.
The rotation is super awkward for defenders too, especially if you do lose mid control. Feels a little bit like Mirage, I suppose, or even just Counter-Strike. I've seen a lot of Counter-Strike players compare the two. But overall, Ascent is seen very nicely, and SSK gets a very nice kill. Angel can add on to it, and Russ is trying to hold his ground with the Ghost, can only do so much. PartyParrots are having a great old time on here, but DPS wants to put a bit more damage in. Just get sprayed down from the bottom of mid.
This is mainly an eco from Royals, and PartyParrots now forced to be able to try and swing that one, courtesy of the aftershock from SSK. Casper now will have the location revealed. I don't know why, in particular, the Neural Theft was used there. I think it would have been better to just save it. You're in a 3v1 situation versus someone that only has a pistol. And even then, after the Neural Theft, he was able to still swing through Casper to get the one kill. So really awkward kind of win there for PartyParrots, even though 7-1. They're winning so handily. It's, you know, you have to kind of just nitpick at the small problems here. So to say that even lost one is kind of just, you know, it's a very minor loss, but very few mistakes they're making.
And it's because of that rigid composition that they have. It doesn't matter if they get pulled onto a map like Ascent. They know the agents that they're playing. They know what's expected of them. It's not the most exciting. It tends to be fairly standard and vanilla coming out of PartyParrots with the agents that they choose. But you can't say that it isn't impactful in any sense. They are just so good individually on these agents and as a team. Russ is the new player. Starts off nicely with the operator. Still has more to do.
Shadows traveling.
Would have really liked to find that shot into SSK. That would have been a nice two-piece for him, and he'll start the round off this time around, and well, Hype will be able to clean up SSK
I know exactly
favor. So
where you
that's pretty decent for them. Contact found over towards Market, and Angel will pick up DPS and maybe bring this one around. It's now back to a 3 versus 3 situation. Royals also committed their Neural Theft into here. Another one player left over towards the B side. Mitch trying to hold on for dear life. Spikes on the floor as well, which means Royals will start to make their push up.
Hype is going to put some pressure on Angel. They know roughly where he is, but Angel blistering pace running from mid all the way around to catch up Russ and push him super well. But now he's holding close, and so is Dinks. This advantage for Royals is falling apart. The Spike is now in control of the attackers.
Smoke's down.
And it seems that it's going to be a 1 versus 2 retake now for Royals with a weakened Caspzor with no utility available. Has to really go for it. But I feel like that was in Royals' hand. If it wasn't for some really good play for Angel to take control of all of that space.
And again, I wonder, you know, my memory isn't perfect here, but if Hype actually had a layer available, they could have pushed that together. He kind of ends up just kind of dry peeking through the smoke there. Tried to be saved by the Saber Cage of Casper, but not quite working their way. He'll go for the 1v2. He doesn't have a lot of HP. A couple of body shots will be able to do the trick here. He thinks he's got his crosshair lined up. He'll find it. And the 2 players alive now walking through the round. It will be another round going the way of PartyParrots and Royals. They're desperate to pick something up. It's 4 rounds for PartyParrots, 1 to Royals, and then another 4 in a row for the PartyParrots again.
That goes there.
I was hoping to see Royals be more of a dark horse in all of this. Granted, it is just the first half, not even the first half finishing completely of the first map, so there's plenty more to be had. But Royals really not living up to the occasion. Russ has had some really nice, bright spells on the Omen, but we haven't really seen all that much individual play out of these guys. And PartyParrots are just sort of used to the run of the mill, so to speak, and they look comfortable.
This is going to be an early engagement over towards, I think, both sides of the map, and Casper will be able to take down Dinks. 2 versus 1 situation over towards A, but a little bit greedy there. Hype just wanted to extend that lead. Tried to make his way into main, and Shells with the Casper as well. What are you doing, Casper? He just gave that kill over. It was a brilliant start by them. Now they've lost a lot of members. Royals still have 2 alive. I don't think they'll use these ultimates again. They're on an eco, so they kind of just want to steal away guns.
Executors still coming in, dotting their I's and crossing their T's, even if they are going up against an eco. Should be expected from PartyParrots that are very systemic in their approach to these kind of things. Artist is even trying to catch up the flank. They haven't closed the door because they maybe want to bait Royals into pushing towards that side as the spike has been planted. So a bit of a bait going on here, I suppose, but you would expect PartyParrots to take this round yet again. Royals,
Train harder.
much like Keepers there, looks very lost.
DPS was at least able to trade his teammate there, but he got flanked, he got surrounded. As soon as he fired that shot, he knew he's probably done for. If there was time to maybe pick up the gun and turn around to find a second frag, maybe that was workable. Workable in the sense that he's just got to try and get out alive, right? Because the objective there is to maybe just do some damage and find a weapon. Getting into round number 11 now. Just 2 left on the half here, Ryan. We got more full buys coming on through. It was obviously an eco for Royals, and we've seen too many ecos from them as a result of losing these rounds. Look at that, 5 in a row now that PartyParrots have been able to win, and could be 10 on the board for PartyParrots if they just keep on going in this direction.
Nowhere to run!
It is really damage control at this point. Right now, the Hunter's Fury being used on the attack Shroud can't touch much. He's had some nice moments in this game, but certainly not to the levels that we saw with Zipman against Radby. But Russ yet again getting the first pick of the Angel. Usually they win the rounds past these, and you would expect so as Casper's able to get quite a lot of damage done onto A. Still 2 members left alive on PartyParrots, along with a Resurrect, which is going to bring back SSK. Rolling Thunder 2 available. Let's see what ultimates get used. There's only a couple rounds to use them, so this could still be fireworks.
I think they would be able to use it in this round for sure. Royals at this stage in the game, because you did see the Resurrection come through, and they matched the Resurrection on their side because Capers also has one. Bring out their numbers 5 versus 3, and that would just secure the ability to win this. He's maybe thinking about pushing up solo. He'll be rewarded with this one. It's very dangerous because he has no idea who's on the other side. It spins the wall, and will make sure they at least have the players working as SSK goes down again, and Russ on his lonesome, I think, is going to be the one to close the door on this round.
He has missed a few shots like that. It's got to teleport out to give him a lot more space to work with, but they know exactly where this last member of Shell, PartyParrots, is going to be. Capes is the one to make sure that they get a second round at least. But even a 9-3 score going into halftime would be pretty devastating for Royals. And they must be hoping for a better attack. Fingers crossed at least. And PartyParrots are going to be pretty happy with how this half is ending, regardless how this next round goes.
I'll tell you what, it's better than a 10-2 or 11-1, God forbid, here, because PartyParrots could have definitely have taken more rounds. Very important that Royals are able to win. Again, the 2 rounds they've been able to win so far, by the way, were off the back of Russ sniping down Angel straight away. First kill.
Yeah.
If he's able to do a little bit more of that coming through, that would be brilliant.
Nowhere to run!
That's exactly what they're hoping, and he has a good start. Now it's the defensive Hunter's Fury used. Again, with no real telegraph on where the enemies are, it was just a shot in the dark, so to speak. Russ has changed up his positioning, and it's very tricky to work out where he goes. Really solid operator player, and on the Omen, like we saw with Latex before. Oh, it's so how he's playing. So that's why Angel's going to throw a teleport. He's going to try and maybe even use the ultimate to get out of it. But Angel had enough out of Russ's tricks. He's like, sit this one out. Let the big boys play.
Yeah. Just made a guess as well, by the way. If he guesses in the incorrect place, I think Russ actually survives there, but just assumes that Russ is right behind that wall. I don't know if they had 100% info. It's going to be quite risky for them to make that move happen. In either case, a lower risk player certainly to be able to use the Rolling Thunder, pushing over towards A now, 2 over towards short, 2 into main, 0 now decide as hype goes down. A retake coming through from Casper and Koga. It will be 3 versus 4 here, and no ultimates available. Working up a little bit of time. Decent reveals coming through off the base with the camera being used. Little initial kill zone. Now seeing where this postman roughly is being played.
Hell of an execute from PartyParrots though. The wall going up, the smoke, even the cyber cages bounced off walls to get the plant in. Means that Royals have wasted, what, 10-20 seconds already and barely even had a looking on the side. Now DPS is going to make his way in. Everybody from PartyParrots is hidden. Going to be tricky to get these frags in as there's 4 members still alive from PartyParrots. 3 now. He's actually going through them now. DPS still has more to do. Now it's just Casper.
Now he needs to find a 1v1. He's not going to be able to get it. Artist guns out, headshot as well. If they had a 2v1 situation, one player would be able to stick the bomb, and the second player would be able to try and hunt down Artist to prevent your defuser from going down there. Close round in terms of how that could have gone.
It's good that, like, I guess that's a good thing about running a composition like this, it feels. Where they just know what utility they always have available to them. So they know that they can throw down cyber cages, they know what bits of utility to use when. That's going to be so orchestrated, and I think we've seen that a lot on this attack. But I am curious to see how this utility is going to be used on the defense as well. Like, I assume that it's going to be very clear-cut, use only when necessary, and there's not going to be any over egregious plays. You would expect, but Royals need to pull something out the hat and hope that they can get a few more rounds to make this a much more even endeavor.
We do have another pause coming through in the initial buy round of the pistol, just to kind of catch our breath a little bit here and maybe talk about the stakes, because 10-2 situation. Now, we kind of hinted at the possibility of this earlier. In fact, we hinted at 11-1, and thankfully it's not that, because at this point, if it was 11-1, PartyParrots would just need to win a pistol, and they've confirmed Ascent as their map for them, because, you know, they wouldn't be able to lose to anti-eco, surely. PartyParrots now will have to do slightly more work, but only by that one extra round. Royals still desperately need to take a pistol.
And I mean, this is a great opportunity for Royals to sit back and go, what went wrong? Because this was their map pick. They wanted to catch out PartyParrots, but as a reminder, PartyParrots beat Prodigy yesterday on this very map. So they don't look phased that they have to play on the new map. They aren't a team that's avoiding playing this, that they're just going to keep playing on the Binds and Havens of the world. They're well versed in these kind of engagements, and I think that's why they're looking so good. It's not overly flashy. They don't have a Zipan on their roster, at least in this game, that's going like 15-3. Everybody's just doing what needs to be done and nothing more. And I think that's one of the things that they would take as a big advantage going into the final. They're not expending any unnecessary energy. Because of that, they look really good going into it.
I'm going to figure out what Capers is doing here, by the way, in terms of where the buys are at, as we are unpaused now, finally. He's still got 200 in the bank, and that means to me he has purchased, obviously, light armor and double slow orbs and no wall, or maybe one slow orb and no wall. Interesting to see that no wall being purchased. Artist obviously has expended all his money. He's got the light armor, which means he has got a wall and also the armor in play. And I think the wall is the most important utility here on a pistol round. It's just going to be able to secure you so many rounds as we head into now this opening of number 13. And both teams might think about getting a little bit aggressive here, especially over towards A.
The defenders are doing, actually. What an odd engagement from PartyParrots, but it was cool that Royals were expecting it. The aggressive push, they caught it out completely, and this is going to be a blister and execute onto the side. Angel's there to beat him, instantly take it down, and the plant's going to come in.
Angel stuck between a rock and a hard place, surrounded, collapsed upon it. He will collapse down thanks to gut shot there. And now the two members are alive. They don't even know how to approach the situation. Dink's coming through from heaven. You got Artist as well, attempting to... You thought about going through short, but we'll think better of the situation. Two below Dinks, by the way, and he's already revealing his position. Surely you want to wait for your teammate at least, so you can take this one. Two members together strong. There'll be a couple of 1v1s here for sure. Both of the Sage players will find each other in an engagement over towards main. And now Dinks is running out of time. He has to drop down. Two players looking towards him, and they win across the board. Royals. Great pistol round coming through from them, and great read early on to be able to hold the sight lines and hold the angles in that crossfire over toward A main.
Really good play from Royals. We definitely need to see more than that on the attack. They punished PartyParrots that were trying to peek aggressively on A, caught them out, and just immediately moved on to the site. There was no funny business. There was no baiting and rotating to B. They just got the kills, rushed onto the site, got the plant in. From there, PartyParrots couldn't really get a look in at all. If we see more rounds like this, I think Royals can really pull this back to be a very close game at the brink. They still need to get 7 more rounds to go even. 6 if you manage to get a pick onto this, which you'd imagine with the money and the guns that they have available. But PartyParrots are a difficult team to take down even when they don't have much money.
Well, it was a good read by the Royals coming on through. What other good reads will they have so far? A lot of patience being shown for that play to pay off now, and they might be able to find a little bit of action towards mid. And well, I thought they were going to get the kill onto Angel, but the opposite thing happens here. Russ came in with the Spectre. He even had the heavy armor, and I think Angel would have had to two-tap him in the face to be able to actually get that kill. Biggest player now will have to be, if Hype can get some sort of momentum happening in towards Marco, but with the door closed, he can't get on through. It's going to come down to the same thing. Hype rather up after. One there. Likely being won by the Royals, who will now surely be able to take it.
Angel goes down as he sort of moves around, so the plant is going to sort of come in on B. They're going to scout a bit more intel towards the defender's spawn, but SSK is going to come through the little cubby in mid. make his way across into market, and then we're going to start to see the Cypher coming through from the back of the B site. They don't have much guns to work with, and Royals are taking it very fast.
That is incredible. Dinks found the headshot onto Hype. We'll find the subsequent body shot as well. That's after Hype, by the way, overhealed off of the Devour. Still might not be a winnable round, though. I mean, possibly, because I say that, but Dinks, you know, he found the first kill. Can he find one more? The answer, obviously, now we know is going to be a no. Royals, 2 alive, 2 Bulldogs in the mix. The problem here for Royals, though, unfortunately, is because they lost 3 members, they have to go into 3 rebuys, and that's not going to really be great for them now into a round where PartyParrots have real equipment, actual weapons to use. Dinks the only one that has light armor, and the rest of them fully equipped.
3 more rounds to get for your PartyParrots. First time we sort of see him come in. Kills relatively even across the squad. Everybody's had a relatively good game for them. Royals now starting to wake up a little bit. I guess realize the severity of their situation as an Aldron is going to scout out that Artist is hiding on site. The spike is moving in it's onto sort of mid. But Russ is trying to make something happen on the Cubby side of it. Maybe a leaning towards A. That's just keeping a keen eye on B. Right now, they aren't quite sure where to place themselves, but they look poised.
Russ, by the way, is the only one with the proper rifle on his team right now. 2 players even have the pistols. Russ is the most important member. He's got to be the one to be able to make the trade happen. SSK is running away from this one. He doesn't even get tagged. That is criminal. Because Royals would desperately need to get at least 1 kill on the opening. They'll eventually find him. Possibility of a flooded Angel pushes on through. Great timing by him and a response by Russ in equal measure as a 3 versus 2 situation is found now. No Empress to be used by Hype, but it won't matter. Royals should be able to get this castle. They should be able to get this set up for Artist to find himself walking up towards this ice. The slow orb to do its job.
We haven't really seen any retakes come in for the defenders defusing, so this is a big ask now for Shao and Artist are making their way across the scaffolding. You can see roughly where everybody in Royals is placed. His positioning is pretty stellar. They're across, spaced out, taking a lot of areas, getting as much intel as they possibly can. There's really not much damage the PartyParrots could do, so they're going to back out and save and try and keep the guns that they have a hold of. But Royals now looking really good on their attack, but I can't tell if it's PartyParrots maybe not that good on the defending side of this map. I guess we're going to see more as this map starts to progress towards its end.
So very important, by the way, that Artist actually finds the resurrection here, and to get the ultimate in time as well in that 3rd round, to have a 3rd round ultimate where not everyone's going to have a 3rd round ultimate. Most people won't have that. In fact, look at Royals. Only 1 member look at PartyParrots. They don't even have a single ultimate yet. Sure, they've been dying, they don't have kills, and that would really explain it. And overall, though, because the resurrection came through, that's why PartyParrots doesn't go for it. I think there was 1 member less, 2v3. That's winnable. That's a situation where they can really work with that. But a 2v4, I don't think it's really going to be something they want to walk in towards as we head into now round number 16. See what Dinks can do, because I don't think Dinks purchased. I think Dinks is just on the shorty.
Smokes down.
Angel put under pressure yet again from Russ. Russ seems to have his number. His introductory period from Counter-Strike into VALORANT seems to be going pretty well. Good toe-to-toe with one of the biggest CIS players from that region.
Careful.
Again, pressure put onto mid. Russ seems to value it quite a lot, leading the line into that engagement. There is a bit of a trade happening. As Russ gets taken out, Capis has made a bit more space towards Cubby. And look at all of the area that Royals has to play with currently on the map.
Royals will use this opportunity to reset as well. They can go dark here. They don't need to reveal any further information. No unnecessary footsteps, and now Dinks upgrading from the shorty to the bucky. Technically, that's an upgrade. You'll take those if you want it. 40 seconds remaining. And just trying to see where the possible movements will be. Angel is the man of the hour here. The test being placed towards him, and that is a fat F on the scorecard. SSK will be the next one to line up these kills, and he's looking pretty hot to fire in. It's just difficult for Royals to walk in. How will they approach this one? Do they have any layers? Do they have any flashes available? The Empress being popped there to guarantee the push in. They'll be able to plant in Dinks. He's moved up from the Bucky to the Bulldog.
Natural progression there. That was quite a lot of damage done from SSK, to be fair. Thinks his positioning is given up though with him destroying the tripwire.
Oh yeah, give me a gun.
He's just trying to upgrade and do what he can. He might lose it very quickly though. Checks his camera, but it doesn't really spot enough and Hype peeks him at the right time. This is more like it from Royals. 4 rounds in a row, sorry. And now PartyParrots are forced to bring all that they have. They're getting bigger guns, they have big ultimates available, but have done very little to stem the flow that is Royals, that are on a king's rise right now.
Pink's playing the 0-kill gun game round there, where he just upgrades gun to gun to gun. Unfortunately, he doesn't end up being able to convert that into any actual kills or anything meaningful. Huge round for huge round for Royals rather, who are now going to continue this momentum with an opening pick from Russ. The double boost, by the way, to make sure that he can see over the smokes being placed over towards A short, if there were even any smokes. I don't think there was even any smokes in the first place, but get that kill early on and make things a lot more difficult.
Let's get up at this ground. The Hype. The flash is good, and it's even going to get it onto Casp, so he has the help of his teammate in behind him. Doing the initiating job pretty well, but DPS takes him out. There's a lot to break down and to pick up the spike on his right-hand side. Russ is trying to come to the rescue with the operator, but timing is awkward. I think that's the ping to tell him to go in that direction and pick up that sight line. But Angel is now holding on to this cubby corner very close now to where the silver is.
Angel's tucked in. There's no information here. He finds the timing. DPS has got the arrow out, he's got the bow out. And now SSK looks towards the closing door section of the map in towards Tree, and there it is, lo and behold, Russ appears. And Russ disappears equally as quick there. If Russ was in position a little bit quicker where his teammate DPS wanted him to be, they would have spotted Angel moving across in transition. That could have been a kill, that would have been a 2v1. I think if I'm DPS, that would have been a pretty frustrating moment as well. You've got your util out, and Angel finds your timing on you right then and there. And suddenly, the momentum has been stopped. 4 rounds in a row. It's been good, Ryan, but now PartyParrots on 11.
Russ is setting up the tracks yet again in mids. Putting out the dark cover smoke to take some space away. SSK is looking from cubby. Very passively though, so the space is yet again being given up for Royals. Being able to do quite a lot with it. The teleport means that they can push more aggressively onto Shao and Angel towards the back of the site. Artist is there to help. The L drones are out, and a lot of intel is being grabbed, but no executions yet.
Russ is in deep, still flying the potential pick onto Angel. Of course, he was able to see him through the wall courtesy of being revealed. Shao responds in time as well to take it down Russ, so unfortunately that only ends up in a 1-for-1 trade that starts to go a lot more in the way of PartyParrots. Like I said, Artist over here is able to just find kills into the market. 2 trees,
I know exactly.
2 taps. Well, this is looking unwinnable for Royals now. Maybe they'll make it a little bit easier.
Now, RFF is going to show exactly where these 2 surviving members of Royals are. They're going to push out slowly, but Shao's a nice angle. Easy spray to get his 3rd. I think every kill that we've seen PartyParrots get have been near enough headshots, even when sprayed down. So the mechanics are so good. It means the PartyParrots go on to match point and have 4 ultimates to confirm this round. Royals boldly holding on, have a few guns and ultimates themselves, but looking back into a corner to say the least.
It was 4 in a row here for Royals, and we were wondering where the buck stops. At what point do PartyParrots just take control of the game again and start putting some rounds on the board? And the answer was not too long. Just a 4 given over. Royals desperately need 6 now to take us into the overtime. Once more, Russ will be able to open us up early. That's an important kill as well. You'd imagine that if Hype didn't get the kill, surely the Hunter's Fury would have 5 versus 3 situation and no resurrection available for PartyParrots.
Ideal for everything going away. SSK's even forced up to throw out the Rolling Thunder. He can expend a little bit more as they still have ultimates available on the Destiny characters. So they're just going to go for it this round. And really, SSK doesn't need to worry about it. His mechanics are good. And he can really put a lot of pressure onto the surviving Royals players. But DPS catches him out entirely. Just up to Shao to bring something back if you can at all.
Well, I think Shao needs to realize that this round is certainly over. Hype had the angle to work with. And the plan for just a little bit of extra cash, so bought ourselves a little bit of extra time here for Royals. They need now 5 in a row to be able to take us into the overtime, and 6 in a row in total to be able to actually win this map. And for PartyParrots, could it just be just another small hurdle? You know, they get the 2 rounds. Minor hurdle here where Royals get the 1 onto the board. I mean, it's not even bad buys it just yet. It's the only person that you really look at who doesn't have great buys is going to come through from Artists, sitting on towards that pistol. But if they can find something here to work with, it'll be great. Otherwise, Russ, with the opening operator shots, has been really dictating how this game has gone.
Here for hellfire!
Things has a great start now for PartyParrots. Russ is out, and Russ has been pivotal for these attacks and all of the rounds that we've seen from Royal so far. Even the orbital strike from Angel catches a kill in itself and forces Artist to get the Resurrect out as well. All of it being thrown out right at the start of this round.
Oh! Chow. Unbelievable shot from the DPS to be able to make sure the flags on the floor again. Hype does not win the duel against Artist. That was with the Empress prop, I'm pretty sure as well. No, he doesn't need the Empress. That's going to be a mistake. And, well, Shell's going to put the doorstop onto this one now. It doesn't even matter that Artist couldn't find the Resurrection.